Okay, medyo mas pahirap po ito ng pahirap. Ano po? Our next compound is C2H2. So, it's called acetylene. So, meron kang dalawang carbons and dalawang hydrogens in this particular molecule. And as I have said earlier, how do we start or how do we approach the writing or the drawing of Lewis structures for these compounds? Kailangan muna po magbilang tayo ng number ng valence electrons. So,
We have 2 carbons and 2 hydrogens each. So, the electron configuration, valence shell for carbon has 4 electrons each. So, 4 electrons times 2 carbons should give you 8 valence electrons from carbon. And then you have 2 carbons each, 2 hydrogens, each of which contributes 1 electron. So, therefore, you have a contribution of 2 electrons from all of the hydrogens. And so, if you would add this up, you would
get a total of 10 valence electrons. So, ito ang ating, the first step that we have to do is to draw a plausible skeletal structure. Yan. Carbon and carbon side by side. And then, hydrogen is placed at the end of this lineup of carbons. So, yan na yung possible arrangement yan in space. Kasi for example, kung gagawin nyo siya, no? Kung gagawin yung terminal atom of carbon at hydrogen, you cannot have 2 bonds between, hydrogen cannot have more than 1 bond. So this is already violating some of the rules that we made. So again, symmetry is key. Gusto ng nature ang symmetry. Gusto niya pantay-pantay lahat. Okay. So, what we do first is we connect the skeletal structures with a single covalent bond. So, carbon to carbon, carbon to hydrogen, carbon to hydrogen. And in doing so, ilang covalent bonds ang na-form natin? We formed 3 covalent bonds. So, 3 covalent bonds would correspond to 6 electrons. So, in this particular case, subtract natin 6 electrons. Ano na lang yung natitira? We have 4 electrons left. So, ang tanong ngayon, saan natin ilalagay? Saan natin ilalagay yung 4 electrons na yan? What we can actually do is so, pwedeng na natin gawin is we can distribute the 4 electrons in the form of unpaired electrons. Ilan ba ang electrons around carbon? So, dalawang bonds, so the 2 bonds account for 4 electrons plus 1 and plus another 1. This will give you a total of 6 electrons for this carbon, and same here, 6 electrons rin. So what you can do, you can combine these electron pairs to come up with a triple bond. If you would rewrite that structure, what you're gonna get is something like this. So carbon, triply bonded to another carbon, and then each carbon is capped with a hydrogen atom. And then now what we do is that, again, we count the number of electrons around each atom. So again, for hydrogen, it has 2 electrons around it, 2 electrons around it. Okay, you're good. Now for carbon, we count. How many bonds are there around carbon? You have 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore, you have 8 electrons. So this carbon is already happy. In the case of this carbon, it's the same. It's symmetrical. It should have 8 electrons as well. So therefore, for this particular system, you have a carbon-carbon triple bond. And as I have mentioned earlier, the first covalent bond that you form is called a sigma bond. The second and the third bond are considered pi bonds. Okay, so medyo straightforward na po siya. No? Nakikita niyo po ba yung progression? So, nag-start tayo from the most basic where all the atoms are connected with single bonds. But as we remove hydrogen atoms from this chemical formula, the carbon centers end up forming more than 1 bond in order to satisfy need to have an octet of electrons. So, requirement po talaga yan, kailangan 8 ang electron sa paligid niya. Okay?